Hello, I'm Dottie Gallagher, President and CEO of the Buffalo Niagara Partnership, and I'm here to ask three questions of Trina Burris, the Senior Vice President of Community Relationship at Northwest Bank, an honorary co-chair of our 30th annual Athena Awards
Wow.
event, which is hard to believe, which we're going to do virtually this year, surprise, surprise, on April 28th. But Trina, I don't know how much our folks have told you, but it's going to be a super dynamic event. We're going to have panels and different tracks.
Mhm.
It'll be more like a conference than a luncheon, and it's going to be an interesting virtual experience. So anybody who's watching us can learn more about the event by going to thepartnership.org/Athena. So thank you for being with me, Trina. I appreciate it very much. How are you
Thank you
doing?
for having me.
Great. We're so thrilled to have you as a part of the steering committee for the Athena Awards. Appreciate all you do. And one of the biggest jobs of each member of the steering committee is to really read through all the very impressive
Mhm.
nominees and then settle on who our finalists are, who will all be honored. But what sort of impressed you most about this year's sort of crop of nominees and the finalists?
Yeah, I think, having done this for a few years now, I am really struck by the level of excellence that really exists inside of the women leaders in Western New York. Every year it gets harder and harder and harder. But this year's class does not disappoint, that's for sure.
Yeah, I always feel like I better get busy because I don't I read these nominations and I think, God, I'm a lazy slug. I've
I,
got to do more. So
it's
you're
true,
right.
Dottie. It's true.
The talent is deep, and some of the talent are names that are not familiar to people. There
Mhm.
aren't the names you see every day, and it's wonderful. I agree with you. That's for me. That's my favorite part of it as well. So we're hopefully coming to the end of the light of the tunnel for the pandemic. But
Mhm.
talk to me a little bit about how Northwest really pivoted to support women in leadership during the pandemic.
Sure. So, like so many other companies, really having to reimagine and creatively think about how to pivot our business, not only the things that the customers see in the branches, but also all the things that happen in the back room to make the bank sort of tick. Happy to say that there are many women at the helm leading so many of the different day-to-day activities that take place inside of Northwest Bank. And COVID certainly has brought about some conversation regarding work-life balance and those kinds of things. So like so many other companies, we're really, starting to relook and reimagine and see how we can help our employees, women in particular.
It's hard to imagine, at least for myself, that I could work remotely. I've always been a 9 to 5 in the office sort of person, but I do think it's going to be interesting to see how all this shakes out and what changes will be more permanent. And hopefully, I think you're right. Hopefully, a better sense of work-life balance for a lot of women. God knows that, I think in particular, it's been really challenging for moms with school-age children trying to navigate this, and it's just been a really challenging time. We are so thrilled, by the way, to have Northwest as the title sponsor of the Athena Awards. Would not be possible without your support. And I know one of the things that we're trying to do is uplift voices and really to show, as you so eloquently reveal the talent that we have in our community. But I know that one of the reasons you do this is because Northwest is really committed to building a culture of inclusivity. So are there anything, is there anything in general that you'd like to share about what you're doing corporately to advance equity and inclusion?
Absolutely. So we have always been a culture where we believed that if you take care of the employee, that then the employee will take care of the customer, and then the customer in turn will take care of the shareholder return. And so for us, this isn't anything new necessarily. However, we have certainly doubled down on our emphasis and attention to this, and starting with a new inclusion council that is in large part due to our partnership with some of the things we've been doing with Buffalo Niagara Partnership that has been bringing about sort of this thought leadership. And I am happy to say that myself, along with another colleague, female colleague from HR, are leading that inclusion council, and our senior management as well as our board of directors has indicated a real sense of urgency around the efforts of that Inclusion Council. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, so we're thrilled to be working on such an important issue.
And I think for our community, as you know, and I appreciate your shout out to the partnership and our commitment as well, to really help empower the business community to advance that work within their own organizations, because ultimately that's probably the most important economic development initiative we have. Not to mention all this wonderful talent we want to make sure it gets its opportunity to shine throughout our community. So I really appreciate you taking a minute or two to chat with me. I'll see you virtually, at least, at the Athena Awards on the April 28th, and I look forward to that very much, Trina. And I just want to thank you again for all the support that you give to us, not just Northwest financial support, but your personal involvement and leadership within our organization. We genuinely appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. We genuinely love the Athena Award. We think it's an important community moment to pause and salute the many things that women are doing in Western New York, and we're proud as a bank and as a member of this community, more importantly, to be involved. So we thank you.
Thank you.